John Milton. And if you haven't watched the first part, just go to the description box below and click the link to the first part. Now, if you haven't subscribed yet, do it fast and press the bell icon to get notified with my new uploads, and also like, share and leave a comment. So let's move on to the second part of John Milton.
Name the great epic which is considered as Milton's masterpiece, Paradise Lost. Now, it's an epic poem by Milton which is widely considered the greatest English language epic, and Milton started writing this great epic in the year 1658 and he completed it in 1667. The theme of Paradise Lost is fall of man and to justify God's ways to man. It's about the biblical story of the fall of man, the temptation of Adam and Eve by the fallen angel Satan, and their expulsion from the Garden of Eden. Paradise Lost is written in blank verse. Now, here are a few words by Matthew Arnold, one of the most influential writers of Victorian age, on Milton's blank verse. That is, Milton's blank verse is a sure and flawless perfection of rhythm and diction. Now, this great epic comprises of 10,565 lines, and the first 26 lines consist of 2 sentences. The first 26 lines of Paradise Lost consist of 2 sentences, and these lines contain a great deal of information about Milton's reasons for writing this epic, his subject matter, and his attitudes toward his subject. In these 2 sentences, he invokes his muse, which is actually the Holy Spirit. How many books were there in Paradise Lost originally? 10. Now, originally issued in 10 books in 1667, second edition was published in the year 1674, and it consisted of 12 books. Where is Milton's Paradise situated? Mesopotamia. Name the opera by John Dryden about the fall of man based on Milton's Paradise Lost. The State of Innocence, and it is basically a musical stage adaptation of Milton's Paradise Lost, a tribute to Milton. The longest book in Paradise Lost is book 9, and the shortest book is book 7. The fall happens in book 9, and the Italian explorer Columbus is mentioned in book 9, and infernal debate is in book 2. Who said Milton was a Will's party without knowing it? William Blake. Now, probably the most famous quote about Paradise Lost is William Blake's statement that Milton was of Devil's party without knowing it. Now, by this, Blake meant that Milton presented Satan as a heroic figure in his epic poem Paradise Lost, and actually Milton did not mean to present Satan as a hero, but he did. Now, many critics believe that in writing the character of God, Milton showed less skill, whereas in the character portrayal of Satan, he showed a lot of skill, and thus the hero of Paradise Lost is Satan. Milton's devil as a moral being is as far superior to his God. Whose words are these? These are the words of Shelley, the romantic poet, and for the same reason, Shelley also made this remark, that is, he also found Milton's depiction of God so far inferior to his depiction of Satan. Who remarked, nothing can exceed the energy and magnificence of the character of Satan as expressed in Paradise Lost. Again, Shelley in his defense of poetry. Mary Shelley chooses for her epigraph a quotation from Paradise Lost in her book, Frankenstein. Now, the influence of Milton's Paradise Lost can be seen directly from the epigraph of the 1818 edition of Frankenstein, and it begins like, "Did I request thee, maker, from my clay to mold me now?" Name the only contemporary figure mentioned in Paradise Lost by Milton. Galileo. And Milton met Galileo during his tour to France, and this meeting left a deep impression on Milton. And Paradise Lost is not just a poem about man and God, it was the first scientific epic and example of scientific literature, and was heavily influenced by Galileo and the scientific revolution of the time. Milton pays tribute to the astronomer in several passages of his masterpiece, and here are the words by Milton on Galileo in his Paradise Lost, the Tuscan artist with optic glass. Now, Milton also made a remark about his visit to Galileo in his great defense of free speech, that is Areopagitica. Satan's name before he fell from heaven was Lucifer. The two archangels who serve as generals in God's army are Michael and Gabriel. Now, Gabriel acts as a guard at the Garden of Eden, and Michael is the chief of the archangels. Name the capital of hell or the conference hall of Satan as represented by Milton, Pandemonium, and it is designed by the architect Mulciber. Now, Mulciber's character is based on a Greek mythological figure known for being a poor architect, but in Milton's poem, he is one of the most skilled devils in hell. Which is a river that flows underground and re-emerges as a fountain in paradise? Tigris. And Satan uses this river to get back into the garden. Better to reign in hell than serve in heaven are the words of Satan in Paradise Lost. Now, Satan is formally called Lucifer, and he is the first major character introduced in the poem. And it was he who declares better to reign in hell than serve in heaven after being cast out from heaven. What is the sequel of Paradise Lost? Paradise Regained. Now, it is Milton's sequel to his great epic poem Paradise Lost, and sequel means it's a continuation or it is a follow-up to Paradise Lost. So, it was published in the year 1671, and the theme is humankind's redemption through Jesus. So in Paradise Lost, he depicted Adam's fall into original sin, and its sequel, Paradise Regained, is about humankind's redemption through Jesus. That is, whatever sin or fault or mistake that was committed by Adam is redeemed or repaired in Paradise Regained. Now, it consists of 4 books. Paradise Lost consists of 12 books, whereas Paradise Regained consists of 4 books, and it is labeled as a brief epic. And Paradise Regained comprises of 2065 lines, and the very important line in this brief epic is, "My rising is thy fall." Who is the author of On Mr. Milton's Paradise Lost? Andrew Marvell, and the poem was first published in the second edition of Paradise Lost in the year 1674. The book of the Bible in which the story of Adam and Eve occurs. Genesis. Which of the archangels is often called the affable archangel? Raphael. Now, Raphael is one of the archangels who is often called the affable archangel, and it was Raphael who told Adam about God's creation of the earth, and Adam told Raphael about the making of Eve from his own rib. And another archangel is Michael, and is called the warrior archangel, and it is Michael who reveals to Adam the biblical history of the world through the birth of Jesus, and again it is Michael who leads Adam and Eve out of Eden. Another archangel is Gabriel, and it is Gabriel who guards the gate of Eden. Which of the fallen angels is called the least errected? Mammon. Now, he's called so because he always has his eyes downward looking for gold or money. Now, Beelzebub is another fallen angel and is the lord of the flies, and he acts as Satan's mouthpiece in book 2. Belial is also another fallen angel who appears twice in Paradise Lost. First, when he advises the angels not to fight again, and second time during the war in heaven. Who does Milton name as his heavenly muse? Urania. And Milton invoked muses 3 times in Paradise Lost. Milton's Samson Agonistes is written on the model of Greek tragedy. And in Greek, Samson Agonistes means Samson the wrestler or Samson the athlete. And it is a tragic closet drama. And a closet drama is a play which is meant to be read rather than acting or performing on stage. And it appeared with the publication of Paradise Regained in the year 1671, and Samson Agonistes is written in blank verse. And like Paradise Lost, it is based on biblical story, or it has got biblical themes. And the characters are Samson, his father Manoah, and his wife Delilah. And there is also chorus, and apart from that, there is a character Harfa, and also a soldier. Who said Milton's poetry is a mirror in which writer's character is very clearly reflected? Macmillan. Who said this man cuts us all out and the ancients too? John Dryden is said to have made this remark. Fell round the path of Milton in his hand, the thing became a trumpet whence he blew. Whose words are these? These are the words of Wordsworth in his Scorn Not the Sonnet. Who said Milton was a poetical son of Spenser? John Dryden in his Preface to Fables, Ancient and Modern. Who described Milton's Paradise Lost as the dream of a Puritan fallen asleep over his Bible? French writer Lamartine.
With this, we have completed John Milton. Hope this is going to help you in your exam preparation. And I'll be back with more writers and more topics in literature. Thanks for watching.